Okay, so welcome to the deep dive. We're going to be diving into
Free speech territory today.
free speech. Yeah, exactly. We got this excerpt from
The fall of free speech.
yeah, The Fall of Free Speech, and wow, it's fiction, right? But it is like really close to home, right?
You're very close.
Some things in here are pretty unsettling, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It's a little chilling. So, yeah, we've got this like really charismatic, kind of power-hungry leader in the story.
Right.
And right away, they start using this term.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news, just like to undermine the media, right? It's like,
Yeah, it's straight out.
it's like we've seen this playbook before, haven't we?
The playbook, it's happening right now.
It's happening right now. It's like really familiar.
Yeah, and it's scary how effective it can be.
It is effective.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah. So it's interesting because this excerpt plays on that, right? You know,
Yeah.
we've seen it with
Yeah.
like Trump, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He used that term fake news all the time.
All the time to deflect any criticism. Yeah.
Yeah, and it creates this whole environment of distrust,
Absolutely.
right? And the story, it like takes it,
It
like,
really amplifies that.
amplifies it to like a whole other level.
To 11.
Yeah. And this leader in the story, they don't just complain about it, like they actually do something about it.
They take action.
Yeah, they take action. They set up this thing called
Like Council for Information Integrity.
a Council for Information Integrity. Like when you first hear that, you're like, oh, information integrity?
That sounds, yeah.
That sounds good,
That
right?
sounds pretty good, right.
But then,
But it's not what it seems.
no.
It's all about controlling the information.
Yeah.
They get to pick and choose what the public sees and hears.
It's not about integrity. It's about control, right?
Yeah.
It's like scary. So like in the story, what does that kind of control look like?
It's really frightening. You see journalists, being intimidated into silence. Independent news outlets, they just disappear overnight.
Yeah.
Anyone who dissents, who speaks out against the leader, gone. Like they never existed.
Wow. So it's like they're not just combating misinformation. They're like totally controlling the narrative.
Exactly.
That's really scary.
The narrative is theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this part where they mention Louis Farrakhan and Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both figures who have been controversial in the past, right?
Oh, for sure.
And they've faced platform bans before.
Right.
But in the story, they're not just deplatformed.
It's not just deplatforming.
Completely, they're totally erased.
Or erased. It's like they never
As if they never existed.
existed. Like that's a whole other level.
Yeah. It's chilling.
It is, right. So deplatforming is one thing, but erasing someone, that's
next level control. Yeah.
it's a whole different ballgame. Yeah.
It's taking it to the extreme. Yeah.
It is really extreme. So, I mean, I guess what's interesting too is that the story, like,
Shows us how this control,
how it can happen.
it can happen so gradually.
Oh, gradually, yeah.
Right. It's like you don't even
You don't see it coming.
see it coming, right?
Right.
Yeah. And often, like, under the guise of good intentions, right?
Of course, always with the best intentions.
Like, oh, we're just trying to
protect you.
protect you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't even stop there.
It
right?
keeps escalating.
Because then it introduces this,
The Truth and Integrity Act.
the Truth and Integrity Act.
No, you're
Like,
about-
if you share,
If you dare share.
yeah, if you dare share what the government decides is
Harmful misinformation.
harmful misinformation,
Yeah.
you could be put to death.
Capital punishment.
It's like capital punishment. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the story, it
connects it
connects it to reality,
to
right?
things we see.
Like, remember all those debates
Oh, yeah.
about vaccines?
Vaccine safety.
Yeah. Or like the attempts to downplay
Environmental issues.
like environmental concerns.
Yeah.
Like the story uses those anxieties.
It shows how this law could be used
Yeah, to silence.
to silence anyone who questions.
Yeah, anyone who questions the narrative,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
It's almost like this far-fetched scenario
Isn't that far?
is not that far-fetched, right?
Yeah.
So where do we even go from here? Like, what can we
That's the question.
just do as individuals
Yeah.
to protect free speech
Yeah.
and make sure that we're not just like,
Sheep.
yeah,
Sheep.
Just consuming what I want.
consuming whatever they feed us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the story really highlights the importance of media literacy
Yeah.
and critical thinking.
Yeah.
Like we need to be able to evaluate information from all sorts of sources, identify biases, and question everything.
Don't just accept what you see at face value.
Especially from authorities.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, do your own research. Look for evidence.
Yeah.
Be wary of anyone who claims to have all the answers.
Yeah, like that's a red flag for sure.
Total red flag.
Yeah, yeah. So it really comes down to like
Being informed and engaged.
Being an informed citizen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this excerpt really makes you think about that.
Yeah, and it leaves us with this final thought, right?
Yeah.
If we just give up control over information,
Who decides what's true?
who decides what's true and what's misinformation? It's really scary.
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah. And the story doesn't give us the answers, but it sure raises all the right questions.
It does. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, we've included links to the full excerpt in the show notes.
Definitely check it out.
So check it out. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
And always remember, stay curious, keep asking questions, and never, ever take your right to free speech for granted.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.